the most in my life. They say you're out of my league, but I don't give a damn. No, deep down I know you want it. You wanna take a leap and jump in. Oh, you wanna fall in love. You get me spinning, wouldn't it be awesome if you just kiss me slowly and had me in your arms? If I could make you see it, baby, we'd be something to make the starlight jealous up above. Oh, you make me up.
So hey everybody, it's Mickey, and in today's video we're doing a little springtime prep. I have a spring decor haul to share with you. We're going to continue on our Decluttering with Purpose series by decluttering our bathrooms, and I have a delicious new springtime recipe. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. So we are going to get started today on the next stop on our Decluttering with Purpose series. It's going to be in the master bedroom bathroom, and we are going to be finding a solution to declutter and organize this bathroom cabinet. So this cabinet has become our catch-all for all those things that you grab for in the morning and then just toss right back in as you head out the door. It's just a mess in here, and I have wanted to get it organized and decluttered, but I hadn't come across a system that I thought would work. I want to make the most of this space that I have, and as you can see up there, I have those little containers with lids that are really great, but only 2 can fit on each shelf, and they just don't hold as much as I hope that they would. I also have just a bunch of things that are tossed in here that I know would be better served with some type of container with a label on it so we know what's inside. So today we are going to clean this cabinet out. We're going to sort, purge, and organize it, and I'm going to share with you the system that I think is going to work on each one of these shelves. So of course my goal is to utilize as much space as possible on each one of those shelves in the cabinet. So I had come across these bins at Target. I think I shared them with you guys a couple videos ago. I like them so much because they fit on the shelf perfectly. I'm going to be able to fit 6 of these on each shelf, and they are stackable, which is really awesome. This way I can utilize as much of the space as possible, and they are going to be very easy to sort and very easy to label. So to label them, I am just going to use my handy dandy labeler. I am really trying to make each of these projects as simple as possible. As I said before, you can use your Cricut to label your bins, but I have always liked to use my labeler. It just makes it so simple, because oftentimes, you know, as things are used up, you need to change out the bins and use them for something else, and using a labeler like this makes that process so much easier. So I got myself a big basket, and I just started emptying this cabinet. I had more stuff in here than I thought I did. The goal is just to get everything off the shelves, sort into categories, and purge what you no longer need. I have several bins set up here to sort all the things in this cabinet. I'm breaking them up into categories like, you know, travel, hair products, skincare, backup cosmetics. As I'm sorting into categories, I'm making that decision whether or not I use the item or if I plan on using the item. If not, I am just letting it go to just reduce the amount of products that I have on hand. I have this portion of the sorting all done. These bins here have been divided into hair products, travel, skincare backups. I have a bin for eye masks and face masks. I also have a bin for all the things that I use for my back. So what I'm going to do at this point is to continue to sort, try to purge as much as I can. Like, I know I have a lot of skincare products that I've had for a little while, and I don't want to hold on to things that are too old. So I'm going to let those go. I always like to have at least one backup for a product that I am currently using, so those are the things that I want to hold on to. The goal here is to just reduce what I have and only keep the things that I know I'm going to use. Since I was able to purge so many things that were in my cabinet, I'm going to have some extra bins. So I decided to go into this bottom drawer of my vanity where I keep a lot of the backups to the cosmetics that I use every day. I'm going to sort through these as well. My goal here is to divide this drawer to hold my AM skincare and my PM skincare so that I can keep the counter around my sink clear. Same process if I am not currently using that product or I don't have plans on using it, I'm going to let it go. So this drawer is all done. This is one of my favorite parts about organizing a space. I wasn't even thinking of having room in this bottom drawer to be able to create an AM and PM skin routine bin, but I was able to do that. I had enough room that I was able to add all of my blushes and contours, and in the back there I have my lipstick and lip glosses, and I also have an empty bin, which is really awesome because you need a little bit of space to grow into if need be. So I've basically sorted through and purged everything that was in the cabinet. I have my bins lined up here. We're going to label them and start putting them back where they belong. I also went through all of my Bath and Body Works things. I only got rid of, I think, 2 or 3 bottles. I tend to buy the same fragrances all the time. Like every winter, I always buy a new Vanilla Bean Noel, and I always have the Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte in the fall. I use them all year long. I've always been like a more spicy, warm fragrance rather than like the fruity fragrances of like the spring and summer. So let's get these bins all labeled and get them back in the cabinet. One of the best parts about projects like this is that feeling you get when you have lightened the load. My goal is to reduce the amount of things in my home by about 25%, and I think that I have accomplished that in this project. So much so that I have an extra bin to grow into, and I was able to free up space in my vanity. Small projects like this done over time really do accumulate into a big change in your home. If you have items in your house that do not serve a purpose for you, this is the time to let it go and move on. I have a bunch more projects on my decluttering to-do list, so I hope that you will subscribe and follow along with us as we declutter our homes with purpose. This is the time of day when I am thinking about dinner and what I'm going to make, and today is one of those days I just don't want to eat what I had planned. So I have a pile of recipes here. I am always looking at recipes, and the ones that sound good or something that I think I would want to make, I print off and I put in a pile. And that is what I'm going to go through right now to find what I want to eat for dinner tonight. So there was a recipe in here that I printed off. Here it is. It's called Baked Caprese Chicken, and it sounds really yummy and really easy to make. I had made something like this, but I had used bruschetta, which is a little complicated. I mean, not by much, but this recipe just sounds super easy. So I am going to grab this recipe out, and I'm going to run up to the grocery store really quick to get what I need. So I got everything that I needed at the store to make this baked caprese chicken recipe. Now I just have a couple things that I'm going to do a little bit differently than what the recipe calls for. I have my 1.5 pounds of chicken here, and I'm just going to slice my chicken breast in half lengthwise to make them a little bit thinner. And then the recipe calls for a cup of cherry tomatoes to be tossed in with the chicken while it bakes. And I am going to save those, and I'm going to add them to the orzo pasta that I'm going to make along with this recipe. So what you're going to need for this recipe is about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. You'll need some balsamic vinegar, a little bit of honey, some Italian seasonings. I'm going to use basil, oregano, parsley, those kinds of things. You'll also need a little bit of fresh basil, some mozzarella cheese, and you'll also want to season your chicken really well with like salt and pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of Mrs. Dash, and some paprika. So I have my chicken in a 9x13 pan, and in any recipe, I'm always going to add my own seasonings to it. So I have seasoned this with salt and pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, paprika, some dry ranch seasoning, and some Mrs. Dash. And then we're going to make our sauce to go on top of it. Now in this bowl, I have about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. We are going to add 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. A heaping teaspoon of some minced garlic, and you're going to want to add your Italian seasonings. Now I have some marjoram here, going to sprinkle some of that in. I have some dried parsley, some oregano, and some basil. We're going to whisk this all together to pour on top of our chicken. So I'm just going to pour our sauce over the chicken breasts. And then I'm just going to add the slices of tomato on top. So I've just taken the remainder of tomato and kind of cut them up into little chunks, and I'm just going to add it around our dish here. So we are going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for probably about 25 minutes or so. And we're going to check the temperature, and then we will add our cheese. I've just taken the chicken out of the oven, and we're going to check for the temperature. And this is way done. You want it to be at least over 165, and this is almost 200. So this is way done. So now we are going to add the mozzarella cheese. We're just going to lay 1.5 slices on each of the chicken pieces, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes uncovered until the cheese melts. So this is our caprese chicken all plated up. Is this not the most beautiful meal? I just have it served here with some orzo that I have made with the boursin cheese and some spinach, tomatoes, garlic. I've chopped up some fresh basil to go on top, and this meal is delicious. Even though I have snow in my backyard, I know that spring is just around the corner, and to kick things off for the season, I have my Spring 2024 DECOCRATED box. So if you are unfamiliar with DECOCRATED, they are a quarterly decor subscription box that sends the most beautiful decor pieces to your door every season that can easily be added to anyone's decor. They also have specialty boxes that come out several times a year. There's a patriotic box that comes out in the summer. There's an Easter, Halloween, and Christmas box. I will be putting some links and information in the description box down below for you, but for now, I am going to empty this box out and let's see what's inside. We are in our guest room, aka Rebecca's old bedroom, because this is where I think I'm going to be putting the majority of the pieces from this box. This is the bedspread that we have in here, and because the pieces in the spring box are so beautiful and neutral, I think they are going to go just perfectly in this space. Instead of showing you the items in the box one by one, I wanted to show you how I was going to use each piece in this room. The first item here is this woven table runner. This is such a beautiful neutral runner that you can use it on your dining room table or on a sideboard, or you can use it as I am here on a dresser, where it will be such a nice backdrop for all the other pieces in this display. The next piece here is the wood and metal riser. I love risers because I think using them adds dimension to whatever display that you're working with. You can set this riser up one of two ways depending on how you are decorating. I'm going to use it here to hold this beautiful vase of lilies of the valley. This flower is my grandmother's favorite, so whenever I see it, I think of her, and this is such a pretty arrangement. I think it's going to look so nice here in the bedroom. So to add a little texture to our display here, I'm going to use this woven basket. Instead of using it with the lid, I'm going to use the bottom piece to hold our lilies of the valley vase. As a finishing touch, I'm going to use the wood beads with the heart charm. This is such a beautiful piece. I just love wooden bead garlands, and the addition of this heart at the end makes this one really sweet. I am also adding the clip photo frame with gold stand to hold this beautiful handmade card that I got from a subscriber, Renee. This is such a beautiful card that it deserves to be on display. I really like all these pieces together. The one thing that I love about DECOCRATED is that they always choose pieces that blend so well together, and they are neutral enough that they can be added to anyone's decor. The white metal basket with wooden handles I'm going to use here on the bed to hold linens for guests. I always like to have a new white towel set aside whenever we have company so that they have a set all laid out for them. I'm also going to add the spring art framed piece. It's a really nice way to greet the season and welcome your guests. So that is everything in the 2024 Spring DECOCRATED box. I will have the Easter box coming up real soon, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to check the description box down below for more information and links to DECOCRATED and how you can subscribe to this beautiful box. I also get a lot of questions about the bedding here in the guest room, so I will also leave a link to where you can find that down below. So thank you all so much for watching today's spring prep video. Now, I have heard from so many of you that YouTube again has unsubscribed you from my channel. Please be sure that you are subscribed and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when a new video is posted. Join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life. I would love to have you all back as part of our YouTube family. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, be kind to each other, stay safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.